Warning, this video contains flashing images. Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I hope you're all doing good out there. Thank you very much for being here. Yes, we are back once again, my friends, with some more Reddit stories. Now it is up to you guys and girls if you believe them or not. Hey, I'm going to be honest, I don't believe half the stuff on Reddit. That's the way it goes. Anyway, I hope you will enjoy the video. I shall be back. A creepy real life story. Hello, first time using Reddit. To start off, my name is Lucy. I'm 19 years old and I live in Toronto, Canada. I work as a Jaguar dealer. Pretty good for a girl who never went to college or uni. Anyways, I was finishing my lunch break when my boss said there's a potential client waiting for me. So I started a friendly conversation with this guy. I don't judge people by their looks, but this guy had a cheap suit on, his hair was kind of messed up, and his breath stinked a little bit. He didn't look like someone who could afford these kind of cars. Me being me, I ignored all the signs that told me to, and excuse my language, get the F away from him. And I asked him to go to my colleagues or wherever. So I asked him if he's interested in our cars. His reply scared me so much I actually froze. He said, "I'm not interested in those cars, but I've been watching you for weeks, and nothing is better than talking to you finally." I was so disgusted. I had the urge to scream, but me being me, I just said, "Oh yeah." He shrugged and told me my whole routine, what I do from morning until night. When I say routine, I mean really personal routine. Stuff I do when I'm alone, stuff only me, friends and family know about. I was terrified. I didn't know what to do. I felt sick. I stood there with him, or what it felt like forever, until a friend of mine who works there came and asked me if everything is okay. I barely managed to speak, but thankfully my friend got the sign, held him there while the others called 911. I explained everything to the cops who came in while they arrested him. An officer told me he will contact me soon. So after 3 days, this officer, I'll call him David, obviously not his real name, knocked on my door and told me something that I will never forget. He told me that the guy whom they arrested was a serial rapist, and he told me how lucky I was. People who know about this story called me lucky, and I said I had a guardian angel or whatever. But F it. I think God was my guardian back then. Thanks for reading, and always remember to be extra cautious. The girl the creek took. I've been working at the Dollar General for about 3 years, running the register, stocking inventory, opening, closing, yada yada. Most of these stores are built as they are opened. Many of the others are placed in shopping malls and such. The particular store I work at was moved into an older building that a local woman owns. The building and surrounding land have been handed down generation to generation, going as far back as the turn of the 20th century, to the best of my knowledge. At that time, the property was an old homestead that belonged to the current owner's family. There was quite a big farmhouse sitting on the creek bank that belonged to, for the story's sake, the Gouge family, which consisted of the father, mother and 3 girls. Now, in 1901, the whole town was almost completely flooded. Nearly 90% of all businesses and homes were destroyed, and a final count on casualties was never made. The Gouge home fell victim, but all family members were saved except Anna Lee, the middle daughter, who was around 7 years old. She had snuck outside during the flood to save her cat, stepped too close to the washed out creek bank, and was unfortunately washed away with the current and drowned, when the ground beneath her gave way. Fast forward to March 2016. My manager had decided to assemble a third shift stocking crew a few nights a week. Two other co-workers, we'll call Dave and Lisa, and myself decided to do it, and the first few nights went smoothly. We just put some music on and went to work until the store opened the next morning. The day shit changed was a Tuesday. I can't remember the exact date. We all clocked in at 10 PM when the store closed and went straight to work. Around 11:30 PM, the Pandora station we had been playing randomly changed from rap to swing music. We changed it back and shrugged it off. No big deal, technology, right? At 1 AM we decided to step outside for a smoke break. We left the back door open, the only unlocked open door, for some light and to keep listening to music. I noticed Dave kept looking back into the store with an absolute unexplainable face. Lisa and I had noticed. And when we looked, we seen a little girl, about 4 foot tall, brown curly hair and blue dress on. She was standing inside the store, holding a Princess Elsa balloon. We were all frozen in fear. Dave finally said, "Hey sweetie, are you okay? How'd you get in here?" She stood still, silent, glaring at us. Dave stood up and she ran away giggling. We could even hear her shoes clicking on the tile. We all went back into the store looking for her, none of us knowing what the hell was going on. Just a couple of minutes later, we heard stuff being thrown around. I'm not just talking like being moved, I mean being hurled in all directions. We realised it was coming from the toy aisle. And when we got there, it was like an invisible person in an absolute fit of rage. It went on for about 4 to 5 solid minutes, and then it suddenly stopped. We heard the following in order: giggling, cackling, crying, sobbing, and then a blood-curdling scream. When the screaming started, we all felt something pushing us back towards the stockroom door we had opened before. When we all made it back outside, the door slammed shut and the security alarm was set off. An officer was there within minutes, and he knew by our faces that something had happened. He walked through the store assessing the damage and then came back out to question us. He called our manager to come down to the store and check things out. The officer asked to watch the surveillance tape, and him and the manager both watched everything at least 6 or 7 times over. Out of curiosity, our manager done research at the Historical Society and was able to tell us who she was and how she died. After that night, our manager ended the third shift stock crew and has warned every new hire since about Anna Lee.
Thank you for the great support, I really do appreciate it. If you are enjoying what I'm doing, why not think about subscribing to my channel? It is free and would help me a great deal.
Well, how are you all doing? Are you enjoying the video so far? I really do hope you are. It's quite fascinating, these stories, aren't they? They are very fascinating. Anyway, what would help this channel out a great deal is if you subscribe, my friends. I would appreciate it so much. Why not think about liking, subscribing and commenting on my channel? Anyway, I think we should maybe get back to the video, shouldn't we? Yes, we should. Let's continue, my friends. Let's continue. See you in a bit. My babysitter was right. I apologise if my format is off. I'm on a tablet. When I was about 8, my brother was 10. This was the early 80s and we were being babysat by a local woman, Sue Jean. First of all, Sue Jean was in her early 70s. She had a very nice 2-storey house with 4 bedrooms and a beautiful backyard with swing sets and playground equipment. She was the sweetest, nicest little rounded woman you could ever meet. Sue Jean ran an after-school daycare because her husband lost his job to cancer. It was late stage and she was just a poor little dear trying to make ends meet. All of the local mums fell for it. The truth was, we'd get off the school bus and Miss Sue, as we had to call her, would force us to line up outside her immaculate home, and then she'd hand us apples and 1 glass of water. The wonderful playground in her fenced-in backyard was for her grandchildren. We weren't even allowed to lean on the fence. Instead, all 12 of us, aged between 6 and 10, had to sit in the grass in the front yard of the abandoned falling down house across the street from Miss Sue's house, clutching our apples and water while she told us the most horrific fake Bible stories. Redheads were evil. They'll drag your soul straight to hell. Satan is red, and hair is only red if the devil is born inside that child. People sacrifice redheads. Twins, evil period. 2 bodies can't share one soul, you sweet babies. Then she would allow us to run around the front yard of the abandoned house as long as we were quiet until our parents showed up. We were forbidden to go into the backyard because she swore there were 2 hidden wells that would swallow you whole. Needless to say, my mother pulled my brother and I out of the crazy daycare after a week, and Miss Sue's husband died maybe a month later. Then her daughter had her put in a home. I always thought she was just a nasty old lady. But then my mother told me that the abandoned house she made us sit in, the one with the wells, was abandoned in the 50s because the family who lived there found their twin daughters drowned in the well. They had red hair. Miss Sue had lived across the street for over 40 years. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed the video, why don't think about giving me a little subscribe on YouTube? I would appreciate that very much. Until next time, I will see you later.